Hey guys, welcome back to Math Simplified with Mr. I. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to solve one-step inequalities. Inequalities are different than equations, right? On the last episode, we talked about multi-step equations, and then we talked about single-step equations before that. Now we are on inequalities. In order to solve one-step inequalities, you need to know what an inequality is, right? So, if I were to say x, right, is less than 1. What does that mean? If you didn't watch a number line, go back and watch that one, but let's go ahead and show you real quick what this is, right? So before I draw, so we have this and this. Okay, so now we have x is less than 1. What I want to do is, right, I can draw 1 here, okay? 1 is here. Anything to the right is positive numbers, anything to the left is negative numbers, right? So it says x is less than that. So I'm going to shade to the region on my left side, okay? Any number is that. But then it says it's not equal to, right? Because if it said equal, it says not equal, so I leave an open circle and I do not include that in there. Again, I don't include it. If it had this, if it said less than or equal to, then I shade this in. So that basically means x is also equal to 1. Okay? Let's go ahead. I'm going to switch the color real quick so you understand what I'm talking about. Let's say if x is greater than or equal to 1. How do you draw that inequality? Well, the first thing is you know where 1 is right here. And then you say x, it says equal to, right? So I have to circle this and close this because it's equal to it. And then it says x is greater than 1, so it's to the right side. That is what an inequality is, right? It depicts whatever is the solution. So it's not that x just equals 1. Remember we had when we figure out x equals this 1 or x equals 2, and that was our solution, right? It just finite, one number, one not, right? Here, inequalities talk about multiple answers as a solution. So here, when it says x is greater than or equal to 1, it could be x equals 1, it could be x equals 2, 3, 4, it could be x equals 1.2, it could be x equals 1.1. Whatever it is, any number, anything that's in front of it, it could be that, okay? So that is what an inequality is. And now how do we solve it one-step inequality? So let's clean this up real quick. And let's do this. So let's say we had x plus 1 less than, let's say 5. Okay? How do you solve this? It's the same thing as the equal one, right? Just remember that. So you have plus 1 minus opposite minus opposite. When you're adding and subtracting, you don't do nothing to this sign, okay? To the inequality sign, you don't do nothing. This cancels. X is less than 5 minus 1 is 4. And you're done. That's it. Okay? We're not asking you to graph it. That's just how you solve it. Okay? Let's do another one. X minus 1 greater than 6. How do you do this one? Well, you add 1 here, and this is going to be x is greater than 7. Look at that. You finished an addition, one-step inequality, and you did a subtraction, one-step inequality. They're not that difficult. Let me go ahead and put 2 more on the board real quick. So let's go ahead first and do x minus 3 less than 6. Pause the video. You do this real quick. Unpause it. So first we're going to do is positive 3, positive 3. This is going to be x is less than 9, right? 6 plus 3 is 9. So now, that's your first one. Let's go ahead and give you another one. X plus 4 greater than or equal to 7. Pause the video, do it yourself. Okay, you've done it. Let's continue. You have negative 4 is the opposite of positive is that. So you have x is greater than or equal to 7 minus 4 is 3. And that's your solution. This one was your other solution. If you got it right, give yourself that thumbs up, right? You got it right. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of one-step inequality of an addition or subtraction one, we're going to do multiplication, division. It has a special rule. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. So let's go ahead and say that if we had 4, okay, x, yes, greater than 16. What do you do here? You divide by 4, you divide by 4. This goes away, and then on this side is going to be what? X is greater than 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that's it, right? But here's the rule. Check this out. What if I didn't have a positive 4? I'm going to change the color so you can see the difference, right? What if I had a negative 4? What if this was negative 4x greater than 16? Now I divide by a negative 4. When you divide, you have to change this sign. You have to flip it, okay? So this goes away, so it's going to be x. Instead of greater than, it's going to be less than, because we have to flip it. 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4, okay? So what happened here, right? Let me highlight this again. Because of this negative, because we divided by a negative, we have to flip this greater than sign to a less than sign. That's the difference. That's the trick. You need to know it, okay? If you add or subtract by a negative, nothing happens. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality sign, okay? Let's do another one on this side real quick. So let's say we have, let's do x divided by a negative 2, and we say greater than 4, okay? The fact that we have a negative in the denominator, right? We have a negative here. I'm going to multiply this by negative 2, multiply this by negative 2, right? This is going to be x because they cancel. I have to flip this sign to be less than instead of greater than, and 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and that is it, right? Remember, if you have a negative sign and you're multiplying or dividing in an inequality, the inequality sign has to flip, okay? I'll give you one more example of this, right? And we'll be done with the one-step inequalities. So if I go to this, let's say it's 3x with the negative, okay? Less than or equal to 5, okay? What do? How do you solve for x? Pause it and do it real quick. Okay, unpause. So the first thing you do is you divide by a negative 3 on both sides. Okay, the fact that you divide by negative 3, I have to flip this. So it's going to be x is greater than or equal to 5 over 3 with a negative. See how I gave you guys a fraction is an improper fraction, right? Look, it can get complicated. If you want to watch it at 0.5 speed, go for it. Knock yourself out. But you will get it. That's Math Simplified with Mr. I. I'll catch you on the next one.